Hello and welcome to another Movie Reviews by Benjamin. Today I'm coming to you with two different reviews today. We're actually going to be reviewing This Is the End as well as Man of Steel. So we're going to get started with This Is the End. This movie was directed by Seth Rogen as well as Evan Goldberg, who has pretty much directed the last 7 or 8 movies that Seth Rogen has been in. It's an apocalyptic, end of the world sort of movie. Every comedian of right now is in this movie. It's so funny. You've got Jay Baruchel, James Franco, Seth Rogen, Danny McBride, Jonah Hill, just a huge list of actors. Kind of interesting too is they made this movie for $32 million, which for those of you who know is not a very big budget for a movie, and they did really well with it. They had some great action scenes, some great comedy scenes, of course, from all these funny guys coming together. Premise of the story is they all kind of come together to a party at James Franco's house. Jay Baruchel is in LA to see Seth Rogen. He hasn't seen him for a while, and they're kind of just hanging out, kicking it, and Jay Baruchel kind of wants to stay in at Seth Rogen's house and just kind of hang out, and Seth Rogen wants him to come meet all his friends, and everybody wants to hang out at James Franco's house, and once they get there, the end of the world comes, and it's kind of funny. There's some parts in the movie that I know kind of didn't sit very well with some people because it's an Armageddon movie, so of course you've got some religious elements in there. You've got people getting taken up in the rapture and what you kind of have to do to be taken in the rapture after it's happened, and it's a very different sort of movie. If you're offended easily, if you're very religious, this may not be the movie for you. I won't say who at the end, but some of them do get to heaven, and once they get up there, it's little unlike what we all know the story to be. So, but no, this movie is absolutely hilarious. I was laughing through, the whole thing. There are some parts of it that drag a little bit, I thought. This movie is definitely one not for the kids. So if you're thinking about, it's definitely R-rated comedy. All these guys they have some pretty raunchy stuff in there. You get a lot of Jonah Hill in this movie, which, I can't get enough of the guy. I think he's hilarious. Seth Rogen does a great job. Everybody does a great job in their parts, and the best part about this movie is they're all playing themselves. They don't have a character. James Franco is James Franco. Seth Rogen is Seth Rogen, so it's just funny to see them play themselves and kind of make fun of some of their past movies. Green Hornet didn't really do that well, and Danny McBride kind of says something to him to Seth Rogen, and he's like, where was this, because he's all like scared about the apocalypse. He's like, where was this acting skill when you were in Green Hornet? So it's kind of fun that they poke fun at each other. When they're all kind of cabin fever setting in, they're kind of like, oh my god, we've been stuck in this house, the end of the world is out there. They decide to make Pineapple Express 2 on kind of like a homemade camera, so it's kind of funny to see them relive some of those parts. But all in all, I think this movie was pretty good. There's some, like I said, there's some stuff in there that kind of drags a little bit. There's some stuff that some people might find offensive. You've got your set group of friends, and then of course they all kind of start turning on each other a little bit here and there. Craig Robinson is kind of a non-believer, whereas Jay Baruchel is kind of telling the group, he's got his Bible, and he's kind of like telling people, oh, we need to be good so we can, get into heaven and all this sort of stuff. And they see some people get taken up, and it's just so funny. Also, another thing I like to mention is Michael Cera plays a part in this movie, and he's just coked out at James Franco's house, and it's just so funny to see him because he's usually such a timid, weak character, and that's kind of who he's known for, but he's on coke, and he's just flirting with girls and just being absolutely crazy. So that was really funny to see him in there. Emma Watson, who some of you might have seen in the trailer, she's really funny in this movie, kind of makes an appearance, kind of makes some jokes in there about, being a wholesome Harry Potter person, but now it's the end of the world, so she's kind of got to toughen up, and she shows the guys what's up, so it's really funny to see her in that movie. Rihanna makes a guest appearance. She's funny in that. Aziz Ansari's in it. Paul Rudd is in it. I mean, it's just the list goes on and on. A couple of spoiler things I can't really talk about, but not only comedians are in this movie, so definitely keep your eyes open because you'll be surprised with some people who are in it. Danny McBride, who isn't as well known, I don't think, as Seth Rogen and Jay Baruchel and all them. He was in a movie called The Foot Fist Way. If you ever have a chance to watch that, it's absolutely hilarious. But he does a really good job in this movie. I guess he ends up sort of being like the villain of the story, kind of trying to go against the group. So it's funny to see him interact with everybody else as well. But all in all, I'm probably going to give This Is the End a 7 out of 10. It was really funny. It had its really funny parts, but like I said, it did drag in some areas. So if you want to go see this one in the theater, absolutely go check it out. If it's something that you kind of have to wait until it's on Redbox, or you want to rent it, or maybe even buy it when it comes out, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. This isn't necessarily a big screen movie. I wouldn't say you have to see it on an IMAX screen if you have one in your local area, but if you want to go out and check it out, I definitely encourage it. It's a good time, good buddy comedy. I saw some couples in the theater, they were having a good time with it too. So, if you want to check it out, absolutely, I definitely would encourage that. Next, I will be doing a review of Man of Steel, and that will actually be up just after this one. And I have quite a bit to say about that one too. So, until then, I will see you at the movies.